So today we are going to make a photo grid where we have multiple photos with identical dimensions. They're arranged in a regular array with equal spacing between all of the photos and equal spacing on the four borders. And we have all of the photos nicely framed. And so I'm going to show you the easiest way to do this. And the purpose of this is to complete our photo alphabet. So you will have 26 photos that you need to arrange. That can be done in a 5 by 6 array and leaving 4 spaces in which to place the title of your piece. And so something like this would work as well. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new document. I think just for fun, I'll do this one in landscape orientation. And up here in the view menu, we have the option under guides to make a new guide layout. That is going to open up a window that will automatically place some guides on there. The default just has columns like this. So the first thing you want to do is add some rows in there. 8 by 2 is only 16 spots. So let me get myself 4. And so 8 by 4 is 28, which is enough for my 26 letters of the alphabet. I will make sure you give the guide some margins. Top, left, bottom, and right are currently set at a portion of an inch. They're very thin. I am going to increase these to my liking. 0.2 is what I like. And I'll do that on all of them. Just make sure that your margins make sense and are equal, at least the left and right are equal to the top and the bottom, and that your spacing in between your images, which are called the gutters here, are equal. So this is a nice grid of 28 squares. If you find that you need to go back and modify your layout, don't get too far, because but once you start placing some squares in here, if you find you want to modify it, when you come back, it places the new lines over the old ones. So you'll want to click on this if you start to see that you get a bunch of extra lines. Only an issue if you come back to modify your guide. Once it's made, it really is just there to help us place our squares in position, but it is quite helpful. When you grab your rectangle tool, you'll find that the guide layout, if you get pretty close to that corner, it is going to snap to that corner, then go to the next corner and let go. And it will automatically snap to those guidelines. You can't really see on mine because my rectangle tool is automatically giving these very rounded corners. But when I change the rounded corner to have 0 pixel roundness, you can see how that square is right on the spot where it needs to be. So when I grab my rectangle tool again, it wants to rotate that one that I was getting close to. Just made a new one. Oh, that's cool. If I click on that corner, I just have to click on the one corner and hit OK, and it fills it in there. I just learned something new. You don't even have to drag it. Well, so anyways, that's a great benefit to this guide, is that it does make it easy for us to to make shapes within this perfect grid. The other thing you can do is just copy the shape, Command C, Command V, and place those shapes in the spaces. Command V. One more, Command V. Once you have a row, and I probably should have done the row of 4, Go ahead and select them all and do a Command C to copy. Remember, these things are also up here in the edit menu, copy cut, and they'll tell you, what the keystrokes are. So I just copied, and now I'll go ahead and paste. Oh, I can tell over here it didn't work because I still only have all those rectangles. So let me click away and see if it'll work now. No. Did I actually copy those? I don't know. I will sure make sure I do it now. Command C, Command V. There they are. And lock them in place. Command V. Lock those guys in place. Command V. Oh my gosh, that was a pretty quick and easy way to make a perfect grid of all these rectangles, 2 of which I am going to make, that's 28, yeah. So 2 of them I'll turn into like a title of some sort. Okay, now go to your background image, background fill, and unlock it and add a nice gradient to the background. Hey, that looks pretty good on its own, but remember there's lots to choose from here. I'll go for a dark purple. Okay. And then once I have my title there, I am ready to start popping in my images. I'll go up to view now and clear those guides because they were just there to help me place those images. So now that I have all of my rectangles here and they are all in a separate layer, I am ready to start filling in my images in a way that is going to make it easy for me to edit these. So if this is going to be my letter A right here, I will select that box. While that rectangle is selected, if I place an embedded image, it will go into that layer. So I'm going to go to File, Place Embedded, and I'll go to my photos, and you're going to search for your letter A. I'll just grab this because it has a letter A in it. And so that image will now be placed in that layer. As you can see, it's underneath all those other rectangles because that layer is pretty down pretty low. It hasn't actually been placed yet. When I press the check mark or hit the Enter key, it will be placed. And then here's the key. Before you do anything else, go up to Layer and hit Create Clipping Mask. What that did was it clipped that image into that rectangle. Now I can resize the image there and move it around and get it perfect, knowing that it's always going to be, the dimensions will always be identical, but I'll be able to dial in my cropping. And then I can always go back and change the image brightness or saturation if I needed to do anything to make my 26 images look cohesive and unified in my document. So then the next thing I would do is click on the next rectangle and go and find my B. Go to File, Place Embedded, Photos. I'm just going to grab an image that I can quickly find. And again, it does need to be accepted, the Place Embedded. Place that image and then go to Layer, Create Clipping Mask. I'm holding the Shift key to make sure I don't change the aspect ratio too much. All right, and then move on to rectangle 3. Last thing you want to do is go up to the File menu, Save As, and make sure it's saving in an appropriate spot, not in these random places that things make, that our computer finds. Documents folder is a great place to save stuff. Typically, the file format is Photoshop, and it has a .psd file extension there, but we are going to change this to a Photoshop PDF, which will change the file extension as well, and then save